3 years of semen retention and Nofap. I'm going to share with you guys what I've been noticing along this 3-year mark. Keep in mind, this isn't a streak. This is me practicing retention and Nofap. But enough being said, let's go ahead and dive right into it. So first, starting off, I want to talk about the benefits. This is something that you guys will notice, especially when you're first starting off. I think it's really more noticeable as you start practicing retention and Nofap. The benefits become less noticeable, and this is because, like, when I first started learning about retention and Nofap, I'm like, whoa, I felt really energetic. And now that it's been like 3 years since I've been practicing it, whenever I reset my streak, that brain fog stage hits, and then I start noticing the energy coming back, but it wasn't like how it used to be. And this is something that you guys will notice as you practice retention and Nofap throughout your journey. Also, benefits, I'm going to break that down. So you're going to start noticing, like I always talk about this, testosterone, that's going to increase, and your testosterone is going to increase pretty much being more energetic, being more vibrant, being more confident. These are all traits of testosterone. So if you guys understand what testosterone is, you'll notice all these little things. You're like, oh shit, that's why I'm more energetic, that's why I'm more ambitious. You guys will notice this as you go along through your journey. When I first started Nofap, cutting out the spicy content, I no longer watch that. I can honestly say that's a whole lot larger of a streak, because like retention wise, if you guys understand what PMO is, I'll break that down in depth real quick for you guys. So the PMO is pretty much, P stands for spicy content, the M stands for the meat beating, and then the O stands for releasing the seed. And that's where Nofap and retention pretty much are the same thing, because of the O, you're retaining your seed. But anyways, when you practice Nofap, you're going to notice that, hey, you're going to have a different view on life. And if you guys didn't notice or didn't know this, spicy content affects your brain, and this is something that I would highly recommend cutting out the spicy content. It's not good for you. There's science, facts, details out there. You can look it up, but I'm not going to explain it in this video. But spicy content really does affect your brain. And I noticed when I first started cutting out the spicy content, I had a really positive outlook on life. I was noticing things that were like really different. I would go out for walks in nature, and I was like, whoa, that's really beautiful. That's different. And you guys are going to just become more in tune with the world, and you'll notice it, what I'm talking about. You need to cut out spicy content, in my honest opinion, for 90 days. That's how much it takes for your brain to reset. So in my case, it was very easy for me to cut out spicy content. I was like, okay, I can still release the seed, just can't watch spicy content. But then again, you guys may be more strict with yourself. There's different modes of retention and Nofap. You can have like easy mode, and then you have like medium mode, hard mode, and then monk mode. I'm not going to go into depth on that on this video, but there are different modes that you guys can do. So I want to go a little bit more in depth on the benefits that you guys are going to notice. So like I said, your testosterone is going to bring out a whole lot more benefits, but you're going to notice like female attraction. This is something that's kind of like a popular topic. People will be searching up this type of video or this video subject, and you'll notice that women are more attracted to you when you practice retention. Of course, I do say this, you do have to be somewhat attractive, because if you aren't attractive, women aren't going to really notice you to begin with. It's one of those things that you guys have to take into consideration. But you will definitely notice, like, hey, the female eye contact, that does happen a whole lot more, and I believe this is related to your testosterone increasing. That pretty much makes you more confident. So you're like, okay, you're just making more eye contact to your day-to-day basis. When I first started retention and Nofap, I was watching female attraction videos. I was like, is this shit actually real? I was like, okay, let's just start paying attention. I also think it's part placebo as well. Just because you're looking out for it, you start looking at people's eyes. Currently, as of right now, I don't really care. Like, when I'm on higher retention streaks, I can tell what chicks are pretty much checking me out. I'm like, whoa, little things that I would never have picked up off of, just because I'm not the type of person to be searching out for it. But when I'm on these higher retention streaks, I notice I'm more aware of my surroundings, and I'm just like more in tune with the world. So I would just be like going to my day-to-day basis on like a 30-day streak, and you'll notice that, hey, a certain chick's checking you out. Just out of nowhere, your body somehow picks it up. And keep in mind, I'm the type of person that things like this is not obvious to me. it goes straight over my head. I'm like, whoa, I didn't even catch that. But you'll definitely notice the female attraction, like I said, part placebo. Another thing with that being said is your testosterone, confidence. You're going to keep that eye contact. You're not going to be as timid or shy, and that's partly due to your testosterone. That's why I really emphasize it so much. But you're going to notice that, hey, you're becoming more driven, more ambitious. But one thing you will notice is that you get more sharper, more clear. And I think this is really nice because, like, you guys notice when you reset your streak, you get this brain fog. That brain fog makes you really slow, clumsy. It's just a really odd day. You guys will know what I'm talking about. Don't believe me, just go ahead and reset your streak and see how sharp you are on your thinking, how fast you can think on your toes. If you're making more mistakes, you have to make mental notes of this. I noticed this, like, hey, I end up dropping something and it freaking hits my foot. Like, I'll be holding something, working or whatever with my hands, and I end up dropping a tool. And I'm like, what the heck? I would never do this. And I just noticed I'm more clumsy, I'm more slow and all that. Another thing you guys will notice is you're not as much as lustful. So this is something that I've been noticing. You'll have guys out there, they'll be like, whoa, that's a beautiful chick passing by, and it just, like, it catches their attention. And don't get me wrong, I'll notice it, but it's like, it's not a big deal. It's like, what's the big old hype? I just move on with my day, and you'll be like, dude, didn't you just see that girl? And I'm like, big deal, what? There's plenty of them. And this is something that you'll notice, like, as you get onto these higher streaks, and then when you practice retention for a really long time, it doesn't really become much of a priority for yourself. You're like, okay, beautiful chick, big deal, then what? And this is something that I've been noticing as well. Don't overthink some of this stuff. If you're overthinking it, you're wasting your time. Because think about it like this. I'm going to put it in perspective for you guys. When you see a beautiful chick, if you're not going to go out there and just approach her and talk to her and get her number, you're wasting your time. You should be focusing on your goals, your mission, and all that, and just prioritizing yourself. Another thing I want to cover is the timeline. So here's the thing I see a lot of retention videos covering. There is no specific timeline on when you're going to exactly see this benefit. I talk about this in my videos. And I remember watching videos of, hey, at day 15 or day 14, week 2, you're going to see this benefit. Week 21 or week 3, day 21, you're going to see this benefit. Week 4, you're going to see this benefit. 30 days of retention, you're going to see all these benefits. I think that is complete BS. You're going to start noticing benefits within that first week. It may be different for everybody because your age, health, and sleep comes into factor. Also, environmental settings, whether or not certain things are stressing you out or just making you a little bit worried, affecting your mental state. You guys will notice this and you'll be like, okay, all these factors come into play, and you really think that at day 7 you're going to notice this benefit. That's one thing I don't like about these timelines. I do say, like, hey, that brain fog should at least go away within that first week, but it's not a guarantee. It may take 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or whatever, just depending on the factors that come into play. So take note of these benefit videos, that they don't happen the way how they should. Like, you'll notice your confidence maybe goes up around week 2 or maybe week 3 or week 4, or you may not even get that benefit. And it's one of those things that you guys have to be aware of and just pay attention for yourself. Take these retention videos as just knowledge. It may apply to you, but then it may not. So keep that in mind with the timeline videos. Struggles that I have had with retention. This is something that I struggled with, especially in the beginning, was getting off the spicy content. How do you get out of it? There's apps out there that will pretty much block these sites. Also, once you start not really watching it, it becomes a whole lot easier. It's one of those things that it becomes easier as you go along. I think about it like this. If you've been watching spicy content for maybe about 8 years or whatever, it may take you half the time to possibly break that habit. I know they say habits take about 90 days to replace or to add new ones in. It is possible with that, but you have to be really mentally determined. So if you're not mentally determined to really succeed in this, it's going to take you a whole lot longer. That's why I say it's going to be about half the time. But if you're determined, you're going to make it happen as soon as possible. It doesn't matter if it's 90 days, 100 days. you're gonna make it happen. The other things I struggled with is gonna be the urge state. I haven't really seen any videos talk about this, but then again, I haven't watched any retention videos lately. But pretty much, you're gonna hit the urge state where you're gonna just constantly think about resetting your streak, constantly think about getting some, and it's gonna last maybe for up to a week. This is with me. Again, it may be different with you, but you'll eventually pass it and it'll be like, okay, big deal, I moved on through it. Or you're gonna end up resetting your streak, and then you'll get that clarity, and then you'll get the brain fog stage. But anyways, you're gonna end up getting the urge state, flatline. There's different parts of retention. I'm not gonna throw timelines out there because I think that's BS. Another thing I forgot to mention, this is with the benefits, the confidence. I noticed my confidence really skyrocket on retention. I just felt more confident in the words that I say, even if it's a little rude or it's something that shouldn't have been said. I just went with it. I'm like, big deal. It's not something that I'm gonna overthink or worry about too much. I'm like, it's been said, it's whatever. And you'll notice that your confidence really goes up as one of the benefits. There's tons of benefits you guys will notice, but I just wanted to break that one down a little bit more in depth. And that's it for today's video. Don't forget to smash that like button. I'll go ahead and catch you guys in the next one.